This is a quick tutorial on how to fix shot elastic in a diaper. This is how we do it here at Baby Kicks. You'll need a few things, but only a few to start with. You need 3/8 inch braided elastic. You also need a needle with some thread, some scissors, and a safety pin. So the first thing you need to do is feel around for the side that is broken. If you just feel around in there, you can feel which side has been completely torn off, which is this side. So we're gonna go to the other side. We're gonna go to the side that still has the elastic attached. And what we're gonna do is we're going to create a small hole. You can see one, I already did one down on this side. But we're gonna create a small hole just a little bit in from the seam, right in here. And here is the elastic. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and pull that out. You can see that this has already been worn some. You can tell if it has some wear and tear on it. And then what you wanna do, you can see the length of that. You wanna open up your elastic and you wanna cut something that's not quite the same length, because this has already been washed and used, it's stretched out. So you wanna cut something that is about 2 to 2.5 inches. It'll be similar to the length, but just a little bit shorter, as you can see there. And then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and just cut this out, because you don't need it. It's broken. And you want to get really close to the edge. So you want to actually stick the scissors right into the hole and get as close to the seam as you can. My scissors are not the sharpest, so please bear with me. So we got rid of that. Now what we want to do, we have our thread already ready, and we're going to want to stick it through. And what you want to do, since this is braided elastic, you can see all these lines right here. You want to make sure when you sew that you go in between each individual line and attach it to the diaper. That will give it a lot more strength rather than just doing it randomly. You want to try and go through each individual line there. And you also want to attach a safety pin to one end. The end that has a safety pin, you're going to be feeding through here, so you can just leave that out for now. So you get your needle and thread in there, just put it through. This is just some hand sewing. It really doesn't take a whole lot of time. And you want to get it really close to the seam, so you actually want to go like inside of the diaper and get it close to this seam back here. And that's what you're feeding into with your needle. And you just loop it around. You want to come in just a little bit, not much, enough to feed it in there and get it through. And go through each line. kind of hard to do it backwards. I'm trying to stay out of the camera so that you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So let's It's making it a little difficult. It'll be a lot easier for you. Alright, so now we've gone through each one, and we're going to kind of tuck that in. Tuck that in nicely. And you can actually leave your thread right here. You don't have to snip it. You actually want to leave it attached right now. And then you're going to take your safety pin and feed it through the hole. And we already have a hole on this side. If you hadn't created a hole down here, then you're going to want to. That way you can pull your safety pin through and have a hole right here, close to the seam again, kind of in the same spot as the other one is. And what I'm doing is I'm just feeding this safety pin through. And you can see that it's starting to gather already. Once you get your safety pin through, you can kind of leave it just like that. Just pull it so that it stays. And you can see that it's holding that tension. And then what you want to do is you want to close up this hole, because you don't want to see that. You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you want it to look nice, and that way you don't have to worry about it coming undone and fraying later, then you want to close it up. And since your thread is still attached, all you have to do is you want to feed it on the inside. You want to take your thread and feed it on the inside of the fabric on one side, and then do the same thing on the other side. Turn it around and feed it on the inside, from inside to out. And just do that all the way down. You're going inside to out, because what you're doing is you're making a nice tight stitch that you won't be able to tell there was ever a hole there by doing it this way. So there will be no scars, so to speak. And you just do that all the way down. Until you're done. And then you just snip it, tie it off. I didn't tie this, so I'm not cutting it all the way off, but you would tie this and then go ahead and snip that. And then you would just do the same thing with the opposite side. We have our elastic right here. I like to leave the safety pin on it because I don't want it to go anywhere. And what you would do is just add more thread and do it the same way on this side as you did it on this side. And then you have elastic that no longer looks like this, but instead looks like this. I hope that makes it very easy for you. We find this to be extremely easy for us. Obviously you can see it does not take a whole lot of time, especially if you only have one side of a diaper to do, and you only need a very few materials. So we hope this helps you out, and happy sewing!